Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. I thought for sure we would see outflow from the ETFs yesterday. No, we actually had pretty good inflow, 219. We broke the streak of 6 consecutive days of outflow, and we had an inflow day. So obviously yesterday, the price action from yesterday was not from Wall Street. Because if you look at Ethereum, it's even higher, 444 million. So Wall Street was actually taking advantage, especially BlackRock. They're like, oh man, great time to be buying. We're going to be buying. So obviously yesterday's price action manipulation was from those giant whales. The ones that sold Bitcoin and ones that liquidated a whole bunch of people, right? That was like the insiders that were messing around, not Wall Street. Wall Street was actually pretty good about it. Actually, they didn't give to the fear and they actually bought. So that's actually really, really good. That's what we want to see. Some people do understand. Seems like sometimes everyone just follows the herd, but you know what? Those that understand, they will load up when everyone else is panicking, right? That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So, 124,000, was that the top for Bitcoin? Well, based on my intuition and based on my experience from previous cycles, I would say no. But if you don't want to believe that, you could look at a lot of metrics that we have. Okay, there's like so many metrics out there. MVRV, PUL, multiple, rainbow chart, pi cycle top. You got all these that have measured Bitcoin. Now we have gone through so many cycles, have seen a lot. Like back in 2013, you couldn't really rely on the metrics that much. 2017, not as much, a little bit better, but not as much because you only have 2 cycles to go on. 2021, that's 3 cycles in. Now we're 4 cycles in. So you got to figure these are pretty darn accurate. And if you look at some of these, we're just not near top. Okay? We're not near the top. You could just see it. We're not in the red, as you can see, right? So bottom line is 124, not our top. We will get back to it. And we will break through and keep on going. Okay, it always happens. We go through these periods with Bitcoin, and you know what? We may go down. We may have a small correction. We may get stagnant for a while, and then we just continue forward. Boom, all of a sudden, right? That always happens. And you got David Bailey, who is the CEO of Bitcoin Magazine, Bitcoin Conference, and he's a Trump advisor, and he has another company called Nakamoto. Basically, he's like, bear market won't happen for several years, which is kind of weird because either you have it or you don't. But basically, for him, he's like, well, after this cycle, we're not going to have a crypto winter because there are so many institutions involved and they're not going to all dump. I have that sentiment. I just think that after the cycle will just continue to slowly move upwards, but we may have months of staleness or little dips here and there, but I don't think we're going to have the same kind of 80% correction we had in previous cycles. That's basically what he's saying, but I don't know why he's saying several years. Not like it's going to be delayed. It's just that would be a new trend. But I agree with that. I agree. There's just too many buyers, too many holders at this point. Unless you have all the mega whales dumping all simultaneously. But even then, the Wall Street companies and institutions, they're loading up, like I just showed you with the ETFs. So eventually, the supply is just going to be even up. Even if the mega whales dump, which not all of them are. Here's a company, Boya, purchased another 290 Bitcoin. You have now the UAE government that holds close to $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. it's just like endless, right? Yesterday I covered MicroStrategy, MetaPlanet, and Mixer Point, and all these companies. They're buying weekly now. Before, we periodically would hear like, oh, okay, once a month you got some big purchases. Now it's like every day and every week you have thousands of Bitcoin being bought and removed from supply. This is why we will continue forward. And we may mimic gold. We may mimic gold. Gold was stagnant for decades. Yeah, decades, until it broke out. Bitcoin, fortunately, moves a little quicker than that. But if you actually compare the two, it looks pretty similar. And as more people get involved, the supply continues to diminish, supply and demand, you get the picture, right? Gold busted out from 2,000 and went to over 3,000. That's a 50% jump just within the last year or so, right? We still got a lot more to go too for Bitcoin for this cycle. Anyways, we only got 3 more months left. We're heading into September soon. This month flew by so quickly. September, we're going to get that rate cut. And if you're wondering, we're still following them to money supply, although we're a little down. According to this, we should be up to like 140 already. We haven't quite hit that next leg up. We were on our way there, and then some of the macro scares, brought us down. That PPI inflation reading from last week, if we didn't have that, we'd probably be at the 140 mark right now, but we got reset a little bit. But it's okay. Sometimes we're off a little bit, but then eventually we catch up once again. So we're actually going to catch up to the global M2 money supply, and that will put Bitcoin above $200,000. That's where a lot of people think we will still end up being. Right? Bitcoin moves unexpectedly sometimes. That's why no one really expects what's next. And here's another one that's just projecting, volatility and breakout times. And we're in that breakout time. We just we haven't seen that huge breakout, but sure, slow and steady movement upwards. Maybe that's just how it's going to be. If we have no crypto winter, we just continue to go slowly upwards like this over time without seeing the big parabolic jump. That's okay, as long as the alts are doing well.